Please go ahead, Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you both for appearing today, and thank you for your service and for your submission. This is a very important issue, as I see it, and I know you see it as important. One of the core issues the military is facing today is a recruitment and retention crisis. The Australian Defence Force is currently struggling to get more people into the military, and more importantly, the ADF can't keep the people that are already there. They're leaving. My opinion is that morale is the #1 issue contributing to that crisis. It's our #1 strategic weapon, mateship and morale. Could I ask you to first explain how even just a feeling there's a lack of recognition or a feeling that an issue in awards hasn't been dealt with objectively or impartially affects morale?
Senator, I think you're quite correct, and in fact, it has been the Australian way of life since Federation that those that are serving in uniform and those that have transitioned can come back together and fill positions within the militia, as it was called in World War II, and operate as an active service participant. These are the people that are having grievances, and when they aren't comfortable, when they're unhappy, they contribute to what you've just described, and so I think that's one of the reasons why it's very important to adhere to listen to what they've said, because they provide an insight into what is contributing, because they're the parents and the grandparents of those that would be volunteering for service. Paul, you got anything to add?
I'll probably, if I can just refer to the analogy that I used earlier about the disbandment of the 2nd SAS Squadron, I think that had a significant effect on morale, and we lost a lot of highly trained individuals that took years to train, with years of experience and background, through a decision that was made that affected them most dramatically. And I think we lost a lot of people with that, and we lost a lot of people who had faith in the system at the time.
And possibly, if you could comment, we lost a lot of people who are still enlisted, but we lost them morally or emotionally. And that'll affect lives. When we have a lack of objectivity or impartiality, that destroys trust, doesn't it? And trust must be the most important thing, surely. I've never been in combat, but I'm guessing it must be the most important thing, because it's been told to me by some senior people in the Defence Forces in the past that the thing that makes the Australian Armed Forces different is that they can trust, each person can trust the person next to them, the training, the discipline, the responsibility, what's at stake. So when trust is destroyed, it destroys that, doesn't it?
I think it has an overall effect on the whole organisation. The point when you go through recruit training is to actually work as a team together and trust the man next to you. When you're actually in the field relying on that individual is there to look after you and potentially one day save your life. It's called the mateship, and it's called the mate looking after you in the field. You lose that trust, then you're not really going to have a cohesive fighting force on the ground.
And it's even more important, or as important certainly, that we have trust, that an enlisted man or woman has trust in their commanders of the Defence Forces, people who are awarding these medals, for example.
I think there's been a great deal of scepticism over that, and there has been a great deal of disappointment from those in the lower ranks who are currently serving, most certainly from the veteran aspect as well.
Yes, you've already mentioned that morale of veterans is an important part of the recruitment and retention of the current military. You've already said that. Could you elaborate on the role of transparency? Because as I see it, I think you've both said that there's an impact of emotion. Transparency, in my experience, reduces emotion. It reduces the impact of that emotion. Because when it's fair and seen to be fair, people lack the emotion. They don't have any gripe.
it's agreed with you, transparency, because if people see that and they're made aware of the situation and it's explained to them, and it's a fair sort of decision, then people will carry on and continue on to serve in that respect. The transparency is most important.
And that leads to another thing that's valued amongst Australians, not only mateship but fairness. If fairness is not shown, then it's not seen.
Yes, this is true, Senator. And again, I'll just take back to current situation in Lebanon, on the Lebanon border with Israel, where up until recently there are 1,000 rounds landing a month in the general area of operations where our 12 peacekeepers are located, where they are being hit with white phos on a regular basis every single day and being required to be underground for months at a time. Yet they're where everybody around them is on a warlike footing, so to speak, yet our peacekeepers are not. They're on a peacekeeping footing and are being recognised and rewarded for being peacekeepers. Yet when I ask for those that have returned to speak on Peacekeeper Day, the majority of them are in hospital or under some form of mental care, and a contributing factor to that is their lack of recognition and the lack of ability to pass their concerns up through the chain of command. It doesn't get past the first or second stop. And these are things that need to be addressed impartially and compel people to indicate why they didn't pass those issues onwards.
Thank you. I've got several more questions, but I'll make this the last one, Chair. Would you support honours and awards being taken out of the defence hierarchy and out of the political hierarchy to an independent body, potentially a body other than the Honours and Awards Tribunal? Oh, I can see the heads nodding.
Most definitely, and I think the Royal Commission in Defence and Veterans Suicide gives a model that's we've spent a considerable amount of money on, and can be one that can be reused, not repurposed to expand its scope, but reused for this and any other system that's identified as being dysfunctional in any way, shape or form.
Just one final little question that I thought of, Chair, please. Is there a perception of a two-tier system when it comes to awards? Which, again, if there is, then that destroys trust. One for the top brass, one for the ranks.
Yes, there is. That perception has been there for a long time.
Look, I want to thank you for the frankness and the brevity of your answers, so much appreciated. I have got other questions, but I'll leave it there, Chair, in the interest of time.
Thanks, Senator.